Oh man, this lighting. Finally got one of those LED shop lights. Awesome. But one thing I wanted to address in this video, something so simple that it's simple. Yeah. So, first car build I've ever done. Worked on cars, owned a bunch of cars. First car build from the ground up for me. I'm just 21, but first car build from ground up is the '83 Camaro project. And if you go back in the videos on the channel, there's a video me talking about the radiator and the fans and the wiring for all that stuff, and how simple it is. And it is. It's still there. But I thought I wanted to run a transmission cooler. I wanted to put it in front of the radiator. I wanted to have its own fan come on when it wants to. Well, it's a lot more complicated than just like the radiator. You have to add a temperature sensor in the pan. Also, you're going to be curious about the temperature, the transmission fluid, because if that fan don't come on, you're not going to hear it in the car if you're driving it, especially not with a V8 with a decent exhaust on it. So you want to know the temperature of the transmission fluid to know if that fan is doing anything. So then you got to get that system. So adding in the transmission cooler, I'll show you here in just a second, but adding in that transmission cooler, which I thought was just a simple thing. I already have a power wire running from battery hot, and it's got a fuse in it. So I just go my 5 amps bigger on my fuse. I'll add in this little tiny fan on this transmission cooler and mount this thing in here. Run me some 38 stainless steel braided lines from my transmission up to my cooler, and wada bing, wada boom. There I have a remote trans cooler. That was a great idea until it don't work. So, like I said, the power wire was simply the same power wire. It was after the fuse. One side of it went to the relay for the coolant fans on the radiator. The other wire went to power side of the transmission cooler fan. So that fan had full-time power. It just needed a ground. So I ran a ground wire into the car. Very simple, easy. Did a common ground on 2 switches. The first switch, I made a custom switch panel, ordered the switches I wanted, everything. The first switch was to give the transmission cooler a ground, and then the second switch was a backup switch. For the radiator system, for the fans for the radiator, it has a temperature sensor. It goes into the intake. Now I keep saying temperature sensor, but it's not really a temperature sensor. It's more of a thermal switch. So when it gets to a certain temperature, it gives the wire ground. It's a very small wire. It's just a signal side or command side, whatever you want to say, of the relay. The relay has the ignition on, power, ground, of course. And when it sees that signal right there, it flips it, and boom, you got power to your fans until that sensor cools down. And once that sensor cools, or thermal switch, whatever you want to call it, once it cools down, it loses the ground. So I added a piggyback wire in the wire that ran into that sensor and did an interrupted ground on one switch, but both switches needed a ground to body. So I did a common ground, so they both were grounded through the same wire to the body. Well, if I turn the transmission cooler fan switch on, these switches have lights, and the lights only come on when you turn it on. Well, if you turn the first one on for the transmission cooler, the lights come on both of them. When you turn the second one on, sometimes you get fans, sometimes you don't. It don't make any sense. They got good ground, so I've checked all that stuff. And I was like, I've got to be overlooking something. That's when I was like really looking at what I was doing while I was doing it. I was like, I have an aftermarket radiator, big aluminum radiator. I was like, why am I running these transmission lines to this little tiny auxiliary cooler mounted in the front? I've got a big radiator, and the big radiator has 2 electric fans and a big aluminum shroud on it. Keep it simple. So, show you what I did, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to fix it. Don't do what I did. Let's keep it kind of simple and quick, dirty. So this is a battery hot wire junction box or something. So basically it's got 2 gauge wire, runs to the starter, and then it runs through here, and it has a bolt and a nut. This is straight battery wire. Of course we have our alternator wire joined in there, and this yellow wire runs up through here. You can see I got the cover off here, and it runs over here into this fuse, and then in this area is where you get the 2 wires. One will go to that relay, the other one comes over here, goes directly to the transcooler fan. So I got one transmission line off right now from diagnosing 350 turbo situation. But anyways, so basically I spent like $70 on that thing for nothing, because it's probably gonna go up on eBay for 30 bucks, 20 bucks, something. But basically the ground wire for it is a relatively small wire for some reason. Ignore the mess, this needs to be gone through again. Runs into the car, and you can't see the window, but there's the switch panel, the switches, the labels. I don't have a battery on the car. All the batteries I have, believe it or not, all 4 of them are dead. Doesn't really matter. So easy solution. The exact same fittings I used on the transmission side and put the lines on. Get the same exact ones. One will go here, and then the other one goes below that hose. So it'll have to be done from the bottom. Trim the hoses up. Of course I won't trim the hoses, the lines, until I know how I want to route them. I actually want to try to reroute them, because that one down there, you see it has the heat thing on it. It's because it's up against the header. We'll try to route them this way, but it'll probably still have to have a sheath on it to protect it, because it'll still probably come across the top of the header right there at the collector. And bring it up here. We'll add some mounts and stuff, run it in through here. Then one will run here. Sorry, I'm not good with this whole camera stuff, but one will run to that, and the other one will split off and probably go inside of here and just go sneak right up underneath the bottom of that. Because right now I got them ran alongside the oil pan. You can see them down in there. They run pretty straight, but I just don't want it that low. Plus it's awfully close to that idler arm there, so get away from that. Usually, that's off topic, but usually people ask me about the blue hoses. Like, why'd you put blue hoses on it? I'm like, 1, I want silicone hoses so I don't have to worry about them falling apart in like 2 years. And 2, why not? But anyways, you see on the picture on the channel art, there's a 99 Pontiac Firebird. Well, that car, I purchased it to fix it up and give it to my girlfriend. Well, it ended up just being a lost cause. It started having all kinds of electrical issues. The car ran and drove, and then we had no spark, no fuel. No, I think we had fuel. Security light went out and everything. I said, screw it. We're getting rid of it. And right around the time I was on the fence about getting rid of it, maybe making some dollars on it, the 97 Camaro, which is the blue car that I painted, it blew up and just happened to be a 3.8 car as well. So I pulled the engine, and that's why I haven't been making videos, because I've been very busy with that. Haven't really done anything to this car in a while. Just some little stuff. Trying to clean up wiring, for one. Two, it has a different set of gauges now. Yeah, the third set of gauges I've had in this car. Also, after the carpets got cleaned, the back half got pulled apart. Going to be doing some stuff, aka restoring all of the plastics from that faded out, which obviously you've seen that in the last video. We're removing the back seat belts. We got some seats, 4-inch cowl, some other goodies coming for this car soon. But I have another issue to address. Actually, many issues to address. I know it's kind of turned into an update video on the car, but it was about the car anyways. So I got to fix the blue car, replace the engine in it, and then after that, we got to work on something else. 94. Yeah, no fuel. No fuel pump. So we're going to put that one on the back burner because I haven't heard that car even run. But it's a 94 V6 3.4 auto car. The body's super clean, the interior's super clean. I couldn't pass it up even if it had a blown engine. So we did it. We got it. But back on the 83 project. Oh yeah, that, by the way, is for my girlfriend. We got to fix that up for her. But anyways, this thing still needs a tack. But the issue is, you might notice it on screen right now, it's water. Here. Not only there, but a pool right there. And after redoing the headliner, I figured out it's dripping from right there. Well, it's pulling up right here, I'm thinking, and it's coming in somewhere through a pinhole, whatever. Big rust hole, don't know. But it's coming into the roof, dripping through the pinch weld right there. So we got to address that issue. But also on top of that, we're going to be redoing the carpet while we're doing the plastics. That's why the back section is out. This is also leaking. You get water down there in the trunk. It's not rusted at all yet. So we'll probably just do some drainage stuff, because I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's coming from here, this cap. Not 100%. But also, another issue, rust hole in the driver's side floor pan. And no, I'm not buying a floor pan for this car. Why? Because they're stupid expensive. Like, I just want a patch panel for the front. You can forget that. You can get like this whole front floor pan right here. It's like $400 pretty much. So that's out the window. Not spending $400 on it. I mean, the dang hood brand new is $290. So why would I spend $400 on a little patch panel when the whole thing's not gone? It's just a hole. So we're going to do some stitch welding with a flux core and an old scrap hood. Hopefully it'll hold up. seam sealer and everything, you know, we're going to do all the right stuff. But another issue, of course, we're on the driver's side, which is how the hole's at. There's a reason for that. There may be some videos early on about this car when it was just a roller. Notice it didn't have door glass in it. So when it busted out, well, since then we've put a new piece of glass in it. So it's got good door glass. But in the meantime, not only from this, you know, from this being busted out, it did a couple of different things. One, warped the fuck out of this door panel, which is a decent door panel, or was, especially if you look at the other side. Two, light switch doesn't work completely, so we got to replace that. That's $30 for AC Doco. Also probably hurt the floor some, made the carpets look like crap, and I got this car, it had the factory seats in it, brought the seats out. When I had the 700 R4 in this car, you can see it back in an earlier video, I was taking this thing for a spin, and just tapped that right pedal just a little bit, and the seat ripped off on the front. Seat went back. So, got to fix that. Also, another situation, the seat belt was cut on the driver's side. So, while I had the headliner out, I decided, hey, let's just make it not have the holes in the headliner for the seat belts. And let's just run an aftermarket seat belt. Well, I don't really want to put a cage in this car because it's a street car. I don't really want to run 5-point, 6-point, 4-point, don't give a crap. Don't really want to run that stuff because it's a street car. It only makes 375, maybe 400 horsepower on a good, really good, perfect day after it's fully tuned for the season. So not going to go that route. Thought about it, almost did it, thought about it, and decided not to. So want to go back with a factory belt system. I think I'm on the fence. Race Camaro has like a lap belt. It's like a universal lap belt that just goes across here. I was like, well, that'll make it legal for now, I think. Not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. But I don't think I'll be running a lap belt. I want a 3-point belt. So where can I get a 3-point belt? Y'all tell me. Because they're stupid expensive. I'm going to have to go dig in my stash and see if I have any, but I highly doubt it. If I do, I'm going to use them. But anyways, started out with a good topic. Had stuff to talk about, things to show you, and now I'm rambling. So, since I'm doing that, we're going to go inside and I'll show you something else. Ever since I was a kid, I liked spray painting. And I'm not talking about New York street art, that kind of bullshit. I'm talking about real painting. Obviously, you've seen the blue Camaro if you're watching the channel. Well, I decided, well, not really decided, but I had someone come to me and they wanted some wheels painted. I was like, yeah, let's look at them. We'll give you a quote. We'll do it cheap. You know, it's not going to last forever. It's a good friend. The wheels will probably get curbed, so we just did a decent job. And here's the first rim. And mind you, this is rattle can. This is the same paint that's on the blue Camaro. Look how smooth that is. Like, I don't know what I did to make this look so good. Like, it barely even has any orange peel. And this thing had curb rash real bad too. And like, I just like spent a little bit of time doing that. I painted the whole back side of the rim, the barrel, everything. This whole entire wheel, if it don't have tape on it, it's gotten a coat of paint, even right here. This wheel turned out so good. Kind of proud of myself, to be honest with you. But anyways, I'll probably do like a little short like video of like the progress on the wheels and like where they started at and how they ended up, and then give the wheels back. So he paid me more than I told him to, and I had to do it right. You know, I just tried to get the best product for the money, and this turned out fantastic. Let me see if I can get the flash on here for you. So there's dust on it, but look at that. That's rattle can, guys. It's dusty. It's been sitting out here for a while. Still, I'm not too sure what those are. Those are all around the wheels, but the paint finish, it's a little orange pilly right there, but it's not too bad. I mean, this thing looks a lot better in person, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully he'll be happy with that. Now we're getting into a little dangerous mark, and it's going to take 3 hours to upload this video. So if y'all haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It might not really make a difference, but send it